So we can dive in then and just sort of start. Hi everybody, my name's DJ. I'm the content coordinator for the ASLC at Florida State University. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, I'm Brenna. I'm the special events chair here at the ASLC, and I play on Rocky Horror.
I'm Harley, and I am the shadow chair for the SLC, the content committee.
And I'm Maddie. I'm the vice chair of the content committee here at the SLC.
Cool. It's perfect that you brought up Rocky Horror, because coincidentally, that's what this podcast is on.
Getting spooky.
Getting spooky? Is Rocky Horror spooky to you?
It has horror in the title.
That's what counts as spooky then?
Yeah.
Anything with horror. So it's just
I'm a very simple person.
There's a couple of things I've learned from recording this podcast now, because from Janai, who is like interviewed in a different podcast, I've learned that anything you eat with a spoon is soup. If you eat it with a spoon, it's soup. So now anything with the name horror in the title is spooky.
Yeah. I mean, this is happening in October. It's spooky.
To sort of broach the topic of Rocky Horror, do you guys have like a favorite song in it? Now, to clarify, some of us have seen it more than others, and we'll dive into that soon, but go down the line. Favorite song?
Favorite song? Sweet Transvestite. It's just peak, like, Rocky Horror-ness. Well, not really, because Time Warp is like...
Yeah. You can actually dance along to that, so that's fun.
I just love...
I agree.
It's a great scene.
Good track.
Yeah.
Good track. How about you?
I really do like Damn It, Janet. It's just fun. It's just so much rhyming.
You mentioned that before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I like Damn It, Janet. I was actually listening to that right before because I wanted to like brush up on the soundtrack again.
Yeah.
Because it had been a minute since I've listened to it. I like Damn It, Janet, and I'm blanking on the title, but I like Riff Raff's like main song. Do you know what I'm talking about?
At the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm blanking.
I forget what it's called.
Time Warp is classic, and we have to like admit that. But other than that, like those are my two favorites. How well do you know? Do you know one?
So I've never seen it, so we'll go with the only
Spoiler alert.
The only one that I am vaguely familiar with, Time Warp.
Cool. Amazing. See, I told you. I'd say amazing again.
Yeah, it's starting.
Get used to it. So when it comes to like how many times you've seen it, if the audience doesn't know, there's like this cult following to terms.
It is the cult classic.
The cult classic.
Yeah.
Okay. We're learning even more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's terms that are associated with different people who've seen the show or the movie at a different level. So can you...
Yeah, let's all announce what our titles are.
Well,
I'll explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us what our titles are.
If you've never seen the movie, either alone or at a show, you've never seen it, you're a virgin. If you've seen the movie but not the show live, you're a masturbator. If you've seen it less than 4 times, you're a slut, and if you've seen it more than 4 times live, you're a super slut.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then you've already admitted what you are.
Yes, I'm a virgin.
I'm sad to admit, but at 25 years old, I'm also a virgin.
But this weekend.
It's happening. And?
I'm the masturbator of the group.
And I'm about to earn my super slut status right now. Just a normal slut. I've only seen it 3 times.
A regular old slut.
Regular old, not super.
You guys know Drake. He tables all the time for the building, and apparently he was talking to people as they were walking by. And like Rocky Horror would come up, and he would just be like, "Oh, are you a slut?" Like to people, and they'd be like, "What?" And then he would immediately click and be like, "Oh, you haven't seen Rocky Horror? Oh, sorry."
But then does he bring up like? Then does he go, "Oh, you're a virgin"?
I don't know.
Because that might be worse.
It might be a little worse.
Maybe you just shouldn't lead with that.
Yeah, never lead with, "Are you a slut?" Like,
no matter the
context.
what.
Even if it is, maybe at Friday and Saturday showing, that would be the only time that you can lead with
That's
that.
when it clicks easily.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know.
Not just outside of HCB during Market Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You might get slapped in the face. Cool. I know because we have virgins here, us.
You.
Why you? Why'd you say you?
I said you.
Yeah.
I said
heard
us.
you.
You said we have some virgins here.
Yeah, I'm a virgin. I'm a virgin and I'm proud.
Own it, always.
Yes. I wanted to sort of talk about other Halloween-ish or spoopy, because, I don't know, musicals that you may or may not like, and then we can kind of jump back to Rocky Horror. So do you guys have a favorite musical beside Rocky Horror? That can be like Halloween.
Halloween musical?
And why?
I need to be better versed in Halloween musicals.
I mean, like, it can even be stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas,
I was gonna say,
which is an incredible Halloween musical.
does Corpse Bride count? Are there a lot of songs in that?
There are.
Yeah, no, there are.
Yeah,
no,
there are
that's
some.
a musical.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
count that.
Yeah, that's definitely a favorite.
Mm-hmm. And it's in the same vein as,
Yeah, it's Tim
Yeah.
Burton.
yeah.
I wouldn't say this is necessarily Halloween-y, but I do love Phantom of the Opera.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily
It's a little dark.
spooky.
Well, there are
It's
definitely
spooky.
creepy
It's got
scenes.
spooky elements,
Yeah.
but not Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, just the topic of kidnapping is spooky enough, so.
True.
It's too real, you know.
Too real.
It makes it spooky when it's really real.
Yeah, I can feel you there. I like Sweeney Todd mostly because I think the premise is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, cutting people up and being like, here's pie. Well,
Yeah,
I've never seen it, so.
That's what he does.
Okay.
He cuts people up. He's a murderer.
Wait, does he like sell the pie and people?
Yep. Yep, people
Okay.
eat that.
It's a musical.
Yep.
Mhm.
I've seen the
That
very
sounds
beginning
fun.
and I've seen the songs in the
Mhm.
beginning, but
It's also a movie.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp
Okay.
Mhm.
Problematic.
and
Maybe.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Also problematic.
Yeah. but-
Just lots of problematic
iconic.
stuff here. You know?
Mhm.
Wait, what did Helen Bonham Carter do?
This is probably a topic for.
I
This
mean,
could
we
be
don't
its
have to
own
get into it.
podcast.
I didn't know she was
But
problematic.
to like clarify, I don't know. The reason people say like Depp is problematic is because there
Was
were
it
like
the wedding
Yeah,
or not
I've
the wedding,
heard
the marriage
that.
thing?
there were like allegations of domestic abuse, but like none of it was backed up. And then
Mhm.
apparently there were allegations of domestic abuse going the other way too. So it's like it falls in this weird
Yeah.
gray area where I just assume everybody sucks. So let's go with that. Everybody sucks.
That sucks.
But
It
what
does.
about-
You know, you've put it very apropos.
What about Helena Bonham Carter though?
It's the same. Oh wait. Did I make it? Uh-oh.
She's problematic.
Oh, no,
I
then
really
she's
hope
not
you're making this
problematic,
up.
sorry.
She's just odd.
I feel like I
Yeah.
would know if there was
Yeah.
I totally-
backlash.
Yeah. I don't know.
She's
It's still
good.
up in the
She's
air.
good.
Still up in the air.
Yeah.
But let's
We'll
talk
get
about
back to
Winona
you.
Ryder, the real Halloween
Yes.
queen.
Beetlejuice.
Uh-huh.
Beetlejuice.
She's alive and well now. It's her
That-
Edward
season.
Scissorhands.
Wait, have you seen? Because we like spoke about it briefly and didn't want to get into it on the before podcast. But have you seen anything on the Beetlejuice musical or about it?
I've never seen it.
Mm-mm.
My friend saw it and she enjoyed it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all I know.
So it's good reviews.
Hot
Yeah, good
take.
reviews.
Yeah.
I
The thing about that was she was disappointed she had to see Beetlejuice
Mhm.
because she waited in like the line in New York. If you are
Oh,
familiar.
the TKTS or
yes,
whatever.
the ticket line.
Yeah,
And she really wanted to see Mean Girls.
great musical.
I agree. I really enjoyed.
I
One of my
think I would
favorites.
rather see
Sorry, I'm
Beetlejuice.
just gonna put it out there. I know this is not that topic, but Mean Girls slaps.
I listen to the soundtrack very frequently since
Mhm.
I've seen it. So
Mhm.
We're getting so off topic.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
We
Let's
can reel it
get
back.
back to a Rocky Horror. You brought a prop, so can you tell us about the prop?
Okay, so this is a tradition, not just with the SLC, but like everywhere that shows Rocky, is that you get like a prop bag and I don't know, to do stuff with during the movie. So I'll explain.
To us masturbators and virgins.
Oh, true. You guys
Mhm.
don't. Okay. So, you get a playing card. One of the
Mhm.
lines in the song says, "Cards for sorrow, cards for pain." Everyone, there's a card.
We throw it or you hold it up?
You throw it. All
confetti?
everything gets thrown in this bag, and then we cry when we clean the theater. It's tradition.
Oh, that's why we really want volunteers.
Oh,
I follow.
yeah.
That's why they are guaranteed a
This
seat.
is why we're there till
Oh.
like 3 a.m.
Ooh, exciting.
Exciting. Okay, everyone gets a noisemaker. When does this get used?
Various.
We give everyone a cheat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, at the end of a song, I think
Cool.
these are used.
Amazing. Oh, the noisemaker
Noisemaker.
and the sheet are used together? Or?
No. You just. I think this is like he gives a speech and then we all like
Blow.
celebrate.
Okay. And
Oh, it's probably when he like announces Rocky.
I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
also,
yes.
just for like the audience's sake, there is a shadow cast which we can talk about after this, which sort of leads all of this. So if you haven't seen Rocky and you're afraid that like this is too much, or I'd stick out, or I wouldn't be something I'd get, their purpose is literally to be like, now we all do this.
Yeah, no, they lead everything, so you don't even really need the cheat sheet.
Mhm.
It helps. Yeah, the first time I saw it, like, they are constantly, the most fun part about it is they're constantly doing shout-outs, like, interacting
Mm-hmm.
with what's being said on screen, so you can, like, barely hear the movie. It's just them, like,
Yeah.
screaming at the screen. So the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, everyone knows, like, these call-outs and I don't, and then I realized it's, like, just the shadow cast.
Mhm.
It's, like, kind of the fun part.
I didn't realize that you really don't go to watch the movie. Like, it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
experience.
I'm not-
Everybody says that. Everybody says it's an experience when they say like go see Rocky Horror, and then they don't follow it up with anything. So
It's just an experience. I mean,
Yeah.
see?
I mean, how do you put Rocky Horror into words?
I mean that's a good
Really?
it's a good question
I-
to us virgins.
Yeah, I
well,
wouldn't
here's
know.
the thing. You've only seen the movie. I've never
Mhm.
seen the movie without the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know what I would think.
I feel like there should be a special term for that.
Yeah.
You know what I
What's
mean?
the
Like-
reverse
Yeah.
of a masturbator?
Yeah. What? We're gonna come up with it
We'll
today.
figure it
Copyright
out.
A
that.
Yeah.
sex addict.
Ooh.
Okay. We've just coined a new term.
Mhm.
Dang.
Okay. You get this.
So
The
small.
budget is tight, y'all.
1 square of toilet paper.
You're waving a white
One
flag.
square of toilet paper. I think there's like a point like where like someone says "Great Scott" and then you like everyone throws
They-
toilet paper.
My favorite part is when they all just yell like Dr. Scott at each other.
Yeah.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
It's so sad. I'm sorry. Okay. There's a birthday party scene
Yes.
because it's Rocky's birthday, the day he was born.
Happy birthday.
Some would call that a birthday.
It is
The literal
it is
day of
his
birth.
birthday.
It is his literal day of birth, and they wear like party hats in the scene. So everyone gets to put on a party hat.
He turned 0.
What?
He turned 0.
He
Mhm.
turned 0, 1 day old. Confetti. Oh, at the end, like when Rocky is born, him and Frankenfurter go off together, and everyone throws like confetti.
Like it's also his wedding day.
Yeah, they also get married on
On the day of
the day of his birth.
He's a fully grown man, by the way.
Have we?
Oh, wait,
should we
you-
explain the?
I
film?
know
okay.
nothing.
Okay.
So like
yeah.
Let's
think,
give a quick.
so think about correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's expand beyond just it's an experience real
I
quick.
feel like we really did the reverse of what we should have explained.
Mhm.
That's fine. But this is more fun because you can tell it wasn't planned.
Well, it's fun because it fits. It's all chaos.
That's true. So like, without giving away the entire plot, Rocky is basically Frankenstein in this like weird universe, and he's created.
But
by,
like a perfect Frankenstein.
yes, yeah.
If
with
it went
like
right.
washboard abs and like there's no pitchforks and flames.
And the doctor is very different.
Very different. And Frank N. which is how it's spelled, right, is a sweet transvestite.
From Transylvania.
Well, that's as he would call it.
Transsexual.
Yes.
From
Transylvania.
yeah.
And they get married. That's correct.
I don't know if they like
No.
officially get married, but there's like a little wedding song played
Yeah.
as they like go off
They
to
like
bed
run
together.
out into the distance and
Yeah.
And then you can assume whatever you would like to assume.
You don't have
Got
to
it.
assume
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
There's a scene.
There are
That's true,
multiple
actually.
scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's basically like they take these two squares, as you would call them, which is Janet and Brad, and they're like thrust into what everybody describes as an experience, and like it sort of changes them a little.
Yeah, I feel like it's a metaphor for when you go into, like, a normal person goes to see the show, like,
Right.
and then at the end you're like, they're like liberated a little bit.
Isn't it also supposed to be like low-key, like a sexual awakening to an extent?
Yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
whole point.
Yeah. So that's like the gist-ish from one virgin to another.
Thank you.
You've done your
Thank you
research.
for your expertise.
That was a good
I've seen, like, so,
explanation.
like, to be as frank as possible, I've seen multiple numbers and I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, but I've never sat down and watched the movie, so I don't feel like I've earned the right to call myself a masturbator.
But you're getting there.
I'm getting there. I worked at Universal, so, like, I also experienced, like, knowing people in casts for, like, various shadow casts and stuff, but I always did, like, Halloween Horror Night stuff, so I could never go to Rocky Horror. Travesty.
So there should
I put
be
tragedy
a section
and travesty
at
together.
Halloween Horror Nights.
That would be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's not super
Horror.
scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the props. I'm glad we,
back to props.
we, like,
Thank you for
figured that out a little bit.
Okay.
Also, Rocky's mostly naked.
Yeah.
Basically just a speedo.
Also, fun fact, I've got lots of trivia on Rocky. That they, like, put a little, like, belly button plug in his belly button because, like, he wasn't actually, like, born in a normal way. So, like, if you look, it's just, like, flat. There's, like, no hole.
He's not supposed to have a belly button.
Yeah.
There's no umbilical cord in a test tube baby.
There you go. Okay, this newspaper, there's, like, a scene where Janet and Brad are, like, running in the rain. They're, like, caught in a storm, and she's, like, holding it over her head.
So we hold it over our head.
So we hold it over our head. And in fun theaters, not here, that some people in the back row will have, like, water guns.
That's awesome.
And then, like, everyone else is like, oh.
That'd be really fun.
Mhm.
It'd be really fun, except that
Yeah,
I don't
why
want
don't we?
to, because I do not want to clean that up,
Okay.
y'all.
That's fair.
I mean,
That's the
I'm
theater
okay.
manager's job. No, I'm just kidding.
And then our last prop here is a glove, and there's, like, a scene where he, like, is constantly, like, smacking his
yeah.
glove.
Mhm.
So he does it, like, 3 or 4 times. He's like, so
Yeah,
the
we all
whole
do it.
audience is like,
Cool.
yeah. So that's the props. And then in, like, other theaters, some people will do messier things like rice and toast.
Mhm.
And
I've heard the toast thing before.
yeah, I don't know when they throw the toast, but, like, the rice is during, there's, like, a wedding scene at the beginning, and everyone throws
Mhm.
rice. Yeah, I think, like, there are lots of different, also, like, some places do, like, candles,
Mhm.
like, there's lots of different props, but
What's
that's
cool
what we do.
to me about, like, the thing that is Rocky Horror, whatever you want to call it.
The experience.
The experience that is Rocky Horror. But it's not even that, because, like, the community around it, I feel like with a lot of cult classics, as you would call them, their community is typically, like, sometimes jaded. Like, no, you have to have seen it, like, in the theater. No, you would have to have experienced it this way. Or, like, this is how you have to have experienced it. Like, if you didn't see it the same way I did, like, you don't fit in. Like, but I feel like that's the opposite with a lot of what I've seen when it comes to Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, it seems much more open. So even if we call it a cult classic, like, that community is still, like, the embraces virgins with arms wide open.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, it feels very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Very inclusive.
Which is good. Well, I mean, like, and arguably that's the point. Correct?
Yeah, that is, like, the whole
Yeah.
point is, like, taking in people for this experience.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and, like, sexually liberating them.
Being open to new
Being
experiences.
open.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So for the showing we have here, we, like, people, like, dress up and stuff, and it gets kind of awesome and insane, and we also have a ton of people, like, can you give any background on that, or, like,
Yeah,
have
so
you dressed up
do you want a
before?
little history lesson?
Sure, hit me with some history.
So Rocky Horror started out as, like, a play, like a Yeah, a play. Well, a musical, I guess. That
Pre-movie or?
Pre-movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to know how it went from a movie to this.
Yeah, pre-movie, it was a on-stage thing, and Tim Curry and like a lot of the movie cast was in the original musical on stage. I forget like where it started, and then they made a movie in 1975, and it like completely flopped in the theaters, and then the next year, like 1976, started the midnight playings. Like theaters would do like the midnight playings because they thought it was like more for like a midnight audience, and then like the props and the shadow cast and like the dressing up kind of started happening around that, and then it kind of became a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine living in the 70s and all of a sudden this just like
I know.
comes out?
I think that's why it like flopped so hard the year it came out. Like no one wanted to see it.
To me,
Yeah.
that's strange,
Then it became
though.
like an underground
'Cause,
thing.
like, I mean, the 70s, all about the 70s, from somebody
Yeah.
who clearly did not live in them, is all about, like, awakening you,
Well, yeah,
whether
that's why I think it
sexually
did
or,
well
like,
with the
mentally.
underground crowd, but when it tried to have like an official,
Yeah, mainstream.
like
that
proper
makes sense
mainstream
then.
theater
Mhm.
release, it like didn't do well.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that tracks then.
So yeah, like the midnight screenings kind of became
It's
a
like home.
thing. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then a lot of theaters play it like year round, like weekly.
Really?
Year
Yeah,
round or, like, in October?
Year round, like every week. There are
Oh,
certain
wow.
theaters that like hold records for how long they've played the movie every week.
That's
That's
wild.
dedication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legitimate dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the only other theater I've experienced, is the only other thing that I can talk about is Universal, and they show it like Friday and Saturday nights, like every Friday and Saturday night during October, I think. I could be wrong. Don't yell at me. But I assume that's what it is.
I would
That's
like to
crazy,
know-
though.
Yeah.
Dude, every week? I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's 52 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you were saying that it's not like a horror movie. It's not like Halloween spooky, right?
Yeah, but it
You
is
said it
like
was spooky.
Yeah.
it is very Halloweeny. I don't know. I feel like some of those weeks it has to be dead.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's all
Christmas
about
time.
costume and stuff, so
I can't even imagine. Also, like, imagine working at a theater that does that once a week
right.
and having to,
With full prop and
Yeah.
like,
everything.
if they have full props and, like, a shadow cast, imagine
That
having
is
to clean up
dedication.
Mm-hmm.
constantly. Ugh.
And if you're showing it at midnight,
Mhm.
They're so tired.
So for the showing here, it's at midnight, and I know, like, it always sells out to the point that we
yeah.
have.
Don't jinx
You're
it.
you're crossing your fingers like it won't again this year.
No, there's so much build up to this every year.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing that, like, speaks to, like, Rocky Horror's power or, like, its, like, notoriety is the fact that, like, people who wouldn't even be involved with the SLC or the ASLC in any way for most of the year, I hear just talking about it. Like, oh, are you
too.
going to Rocky Horror? Which is, like, it's cool that that is permeated throughout the culture of Florida State, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I don't know if you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe beside football, like, is there anything that, like, you feel like
That's
permeated?
an annual thing
Yeah.
that you always.
That, like, no matter what, even people not involved in the community at all are like, I'm so down for that.
Rocky Horror is the football of nerds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm so inside of it that like I can't tell
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what people think.
My thing I always look forward to is like the Nutcracker because I'm a super Christmassy person,
Oh,
but
true.
that doesn't have this kind of.
Does that happen every year here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does
Ruby
the-
Diamond. Yeah.
Oh, Ruby Diamond
The
does it?
Nutcracker
Okay, cool.
Ballet. Yeah.
Well, see, like,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know that, but did you know Rocky Horror played every year?
I did.
Exactly.
Yeah. So see, it doesn't have the same span.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say
And that's the
besides
Nutcracker.
athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what'd
Right.
you say?
I would say besides athletics.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nothing has as much of a pull,
Mhm.
like, around campus.
Right.
That's why I'm so nervous, guys.
It's
Don't
gonna be
nervous.
such a
I don't want to
success.
mess it up.
Yeah, I'm genuinely excited because,
Mhm.
like, I feel like I've never experienced anything like this, and I want to go full 9 and dress up.
Yeah.
I completely like skipped your question about the costumes.
Oh, I mean, it's fine. We were talking. It's no big deal.
Mhm.
Do you guys plan on dressing up?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because you go to both showings, you have multiple costumes. So
Yeah,
what are your
I do.
costumes, and then we can go down the line.
So previous years I've dressed up, but not as a character, just like fishnets, like sexy dress, like whatever. This year I'm going to be magenta on Friday's showing, so it's just like black dress, like white apron, fishnets, like dark lipstick.
So that's the maid.
That's the maid costume, yeah. And then Saturday I'm going to be Janet, which is just like white skirt, white bra, and like a cardigan.
Very innocent.
Well, yeah, except
Well,
the bra part.
I would say Janet is like transitional.
Yeah, but she's like in all white. She like represents something.
Innocence,
You know?
yeah. Purity, I guess, would be the more correct term. How about you?
I definitely want to take the opportunity and dress up, but I just found out I'm going today, so we'll see what I can put together.
I got you. I mean, like, everything that we've said in chats and stuff is like, just get fishnets. Like,
yeah, it's really not that hard.
A lot of thrift stores have corsets too. You can always go get a corset.
Also, if you have Prime, a couple people I was talking to were saying they found like corsets for like $14, and you can get them tomorrow.
Yeah,
which is not a bad deal.
Go to Hot Topic.
Hot Topic is still alive and well.
Hot Topic is alive and well. In dying malls, Hot Topic is alive and well.
It will survive the apocalypse.
It's them and cockroaches.
Yes.
I have 2 costumes in mind, and I like am sort of flipping on both of them. I either want to go as like Act 1 Brad, mostly just so I can have clothes on, or go as prep.
Riff Raff.
Yes, Riff Raff, because I have like choir tails that are like super old.
Just some casual choir tails.
I did choir for like 13 years, so like I think I have 2 or 3 pairs of choir
You
tails.
might as well get the use out of it.
Exactly, because they're just gathering dust in my closet.
Are you gonna go both nights or one night?
I don't know, so we'll see.
Go both nights. Okay, here's the thing. Is like everyone's always like, I'm gonna go one night, and then you see it like on Friday night, and you're like, I have to go tomorrow. Like,
I also want to go to the circus. So.
But circus starts at like 7, so just go straight
oh,
there.
Is that midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't show up at like 10,
Well, that's
at
what I'm doing
least-
with my friends. We're going to the circus and coming here.
just
Okay.
tell me if you want a band DJ. I'll save you a band.
No,
Save
we
me.
can't do that. We can't.
I don't do that. What do you
But
mean?
like, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, do you have to get banded? So I've never even experienced it. I think there was one time.
I know the line wraps around up.
Yeah.
It's just a cool nightmare.
I feel like there was one time I was coming to the ASLC just to like pre-working here, and I saw like the crowd of people, and which like, I don't know what that is. Nope. And then just turned around because it just seemed like a lot, and I was like not in a social mood at all.
And then imagine if you just randomly got in the line. We're like, whoa.
What is this? Like, and somebody's like, oh, you'll love it. You'll sit with us. I don't know.
Yeah.
The introvert in me would be like, like and run and hide. Cool. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about specifically, or
so,
like?
as virgins, are you guys gonna play the games?
I want to. Wait.
So, well, let's talk about the pre-show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about the pre-show because that's a
Okay.
cool thing that we do.
The shadow cast, like 30 minutes before the movie plays, will take the virgins down
To the dungeon.
for a sacrifice, and they like play games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell her what the games are.
So it's just-
I like games.
I know what some of them are. They're supposed
Don't
to be
spoil
like
it.
humiliation-y.
No.
Not humiliation-y, but there's a better word for it.
It's just awkward.
Yeah, they're like awkward, but they're fun, and they're like in this. They like get you in the spirit for the movie.
Out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, some are worse than others, but
I've heard the one that involves teams of 2.
Yeah.
There's always one team that chickens out.
Stop. Don't spoil it.
I'm not
for her.
spoiling.
I want
I'm
her
not
to- I want
spoiling
her to volunteer.
anything, and I feel like that didn't give away. So why am I bleeping myself? I'm pre-editing.
The editor wheels are turning.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't give anything away, so I don't know. Did you feel like you got any information?
No,
from
I
me?
have no idea. But I will play games. I like games.
Mhm.
I embarrass
open to
myself
everything.
enough, so...
I'll play games.
Yeah, it's
I'm
definitely
excited.
like one of the like my favorite parts is watching the pre-show.
And that's in the main theater.
Yeah,
correct?
that's like so we load the theater at 11, and then like everyone's kind of in there by 11:30, which is when we do the games, and then the movie's at 12.
That's cool. And then for the Phantom Theater,
Yeah.
isn't something gonna be happening? I
So
don't know
usually
specifically.
we don't do anything in the Phantom Theater, but this year we're giving everyone prop bags because usually they don't get them. But this year they're gonna get prop bags, and we have someone hosting like, not like those kind of games, but like what's it called? Like Jackbox games.
Oh, got it.
That's what
Yeah.
happened when I got into that theater.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we just played games like on screen.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
At least it was something.
Yeah. I think last year, did you get a prop bag last?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like watching the movie in a
I'm
theater.
sorry.
What?
I'm laughing about because the prop bag came up, and I just thought about the
The toilet paper.
That made me laugh.
I want to know, like, how you guys first heard about it, or your, like, first impressions, if yours was at Universal or something.
So, pre-Universal, this is so nerdy. Pre-Universal, my first, I think. So, I would have to say it was either hearing about it at Universal and somebody being like, oh yeah, it's this thing, people dress up, like when I was a kid before even working there. Because I lived in Orlando, I would go to Universal all the time. It would have either been that, like, explained to me from somebody who, like, doesn't know about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, like, not a full explanation. Or Glee.
I think that's lots of people's first introduction.
Wait, really?
My first was The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh.
Yeah. I had never heard it before, and then I was like, what are these kids, like, doing?
God, how about you?
Mine was probably last year.
Oh, yeah?
After the SLC, some of my friends went. I don't know where I was that I didn't go. But my one friend was part of a game and came back and complained about it because she was not into whatever she was asked to do. So.
Sounds like your friend needs to be awakened. I don't know.
She sure
She gets
does.
disappointed in the movie.
Has she changed this?
No, that's okay. Consent is important in those games. So that they do like tell you if you're like.
Well, I
if you
think
wanna
that's
sit
also
down.
like the point.
Oh yeah,
too.
that's
Like-
100% also the point.
Yeah, because the entire thing is like, do what you're comfortable doing, but like also embrace not being
Yeah,
stuck.
people in the movie were very happy to have it happen. They weren't mad about it. The characters.
Oh yeah. I am super pumped for this though, because especially now, like working in the building and hearing everybody's thoughts and like different experiences to this one experience. I'm excited to go through it for a first time, and like depending on when you watch it, I recommend going to do it, even as somebody who hasn't seen it. I'm trying to think of like, I feel like we can keep talking.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions as like somebody who hasn't experienced it? What's one thing that like sticks out to you maybe, or one thing that like intrigues you about the show? Like, why is there a transvestite, or why does everybody wear lingerie? I don't know.
I think that's a good question. Why am I being asked to buy fishnets and wear a sexy dress by the request of Drake? Like, why does he want this from me?
I mean, that's just kind of what they were in the movie.
Tradition.
And we kind of also glossed over the plot point that they're like all from another planet.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're like sexy
Is it ever
aliens.
explicitly said? Or
They like at the end they like, well, never mind, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
At the end they like blast off.
Oh my god, sorry.
The end is very odd.
My nerd is showing. Is that in Glee? God damn. In Glee, they have like an elevator or something. And is that them blasting
Wait.
off?
You say elevator, and I picture Rocky
Yeah.
Horror mixed with Charlie and the
That's
Chocolate
exactly. I was like,
Factory.
wait, I don't know what you.
Oh no.
That'd
Not
be
that.
interesting.
Oh no, there is an elevator, but that's not what. I don't think that's what they blast.
Oh no,
'Cause I
that's
know-
when Frank.
Yes,
that's when
I
he
know
comes up
Frankenfurter
and
comes
does
in.
Yeah.
this
I know that's a
glorious
thing.
number.
Yeah, the great introduction.
I think they like blast off at the end, right? Am I making that up?
Wait, is the castle a?
Another dimension
A
or something.
rocket
That's what
ship or
happens.
something?
Yeah.
That's what happens. I'm pretty sure the whole castle
Okay.
like.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I think I'm not
really.
making that up.
I
Honestly,
also-
by that time, I'm like, I don't even know what's happening.
I
in
know,
the
like
movie.
that's what I distinctly remember the whole first half, and then it gets to the end. I'm like,
I don't know what I just.
what
saw.
just happened?
Is
Honestly,
it a fever dream?
Yeah.
it
Is it time warp?
Yeah.
Especially the first time I saw it, I was like, that was awesome, but I have no idea what the plot was.
No.
Mhm.
No
Is there
idea
a
what
plot,
happened. Vaguely. I don't know. There's.
Yeah.
Well, the
It's
plot sort of is
crazy.
just like Janet and Brad like meet all these people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and
Yeah.
they slowly.
And then don't they
changes
like
people.
go to Transylvania or the other dimension or whatever to meet Dr. Scott, which was their like professor or something?
I think that they're still like on Earth. I don't know. Remember why the professor shows up? The second
Yeah.
half is so vague.
But like
In
they
my
start
memory.
out, I read they start out in Ohio, and then all of a sudden they're in like Transylvania. So
What?
they're there to visit someone, then they end up at the castle.
Interesting.
mistake.
And it all starts because their car breaks down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, it starts like a classic horror movie, basically.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because.
Well,
See,
it's
spooky.
not
That's
the
the point.
opening scene.
No.
Wait, what is. Really?
The
Oh,
opening
sure.
scene is like Brad and Janet are at someone else's wedding, which, by the way, like Tim Curry is like the priest and
Mhm.
like all the cast are like the bridesmaids or whatever. And then they're like at a wedding.
That adds to the other dimension aspect.
Yeah. They're like at a wedding, and then after the wedding, like Brad proposes to Janet. And then
Which is kind
Damn
of
It,
rude.
Janet happens. Yeah, which is kind of like stealing the spotlight.
Yeah.
But,
I always think about that when I see videos of proposals
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
weddings.
Yeah.
To me, I'd be like, if I was that bride, I'd be
know.
like, no, this is my day. Off.
Yeah.
Like,
That's your introduction to Brad.
Yeah.
The kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
There's
Brad
a time
is
and a place
awful.
to get engaged, and it's not at someone else's wedding.
No.
No.
I would agree, unless the bride is like, hey, you should do this to like.
But who?
them,
No bride is
But
Yeah,
no bride.
who?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
That's why
Mhm.
every time someone says Brad, everyone screams asshole.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's on
That's
the
part of-
instructions.
Then
Oh,
what's
shit.
the one for Janet?
Then I don't want to dress
Janet,
as Brad.
slut.
Okay.
Everyone time someone says Janet, you say slut. Every time someone says Brad, you say asshole.
Then I don't want to dress as Brad.
No,
Yeah.
be Brad because I'm being Janet.
But I don't want to be.
All
an
go
asshole.
together. Yeah.
I need a Brad.
Mhm.
But I would be Act 1 Brad. I would not be like.
I'm being Act 2 Janet.
Transitional
But Act
Janet.
3, I want to be Act 3 Janet one year.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a whole other look.
That's very
Mhm.
transformational,
Yeah.
Janet.
I always think of what is that? Oh, what is the musical? It's not Rocky Horror at all. That Summer Lovin'.
Oh, Grease.
Yes, I always think of because she changes a lot, but she changes
Yeah.
for a man. I always think about that, like
She's
It is that
As
like,
like a
light to
much like
parallel.
dark.
Sandy.
yeah, light to dark.
Yeah. Grease is also kind of f***ed up.
Yeah.
No one talks
That
about
well, it is. That's why I'm saying like.
Mhm. It's problematic.
I feel like a lot of musicals are problematic
Mhm.
though.
Have you ever seen the meme where it's like how you recognize Tim Curry is like really shows your true personality or something?
What?
Because like if you recognize him from It or something, and then it's like if you recognize him from Rocky Horror,
Oh, true.
you're that kind of person.
True.
He's had so many good roles.
He is. He's great.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody else in that movie that broke out more or like has a career beside Rocky Horror.
I mean, Susan Sarandon was in other movies, but
Oh,
can we
Susan
name
Sarandon.
them?
Wait, who does Susan Sarandon play?
Janet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Who plays Brad? Do we know?
I forgot his name.
Well, that speaks to him. We don't know that.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
That answers
Do
that
you want
question.
another fun fact about the cast?
Yes.
Wait, yeah, hit me with a fun fact.
Okay, so,
And then I
It's-
actually have a question after the fun fact.
okay, so they were gonna give them a lot more money for Rocky Horror if they recast everyone
Mhm.
with like famous musicians, but they wanted to keep like the original stage cast, but the only like requirement was that they cast like popular American actors as Brad and Janet. So like
Mhm.
everyone else is like, I think they're all English or like some kind of European,
Mhm.
like all the original stage cast, and then like Brad and Janet were like a requirement from the studio.
Yeah,
like,
we don't know who Brad is.
Yeah.
Except, yeah, they failed on that one because we don't know who Brad
Maybe
is.
they're too young. I don't know, but
Maybe. So my question is, I heard, I don't know if this is true and it could be totally unfounded. I heard that there is like a character that exists in the show exclusively because one person felt uncomfortable or something.
I don't know if that's a true fact or not, but
is it like Eddie or something? I don't
Eddie,
remember. Is
yeah.
Eddie the character that
the
exists?
biker.
The biker. I guess I feel like it just wouldn't be the same without him. I don't know if that's a true fact or not.
Okay.
I think he was in the original stage production, but so is the girl who played Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the girl that, like, did she not feel comfortable singing something?
If
or
that's
what's
true, then yeah, it's Columbia.
Okay. That's interesting.
And then also in the original stage production, the guy who played Eddie and Dr. Scott is the same person, but in the movie they're like different
Mhm.
actors.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess. Technically, I guess it would be easier in a movie to have somebody play two parts.
Mm-hmm.
But, like,
Yeah.
cast more people.
I have a question too.
Okay.
Well, you might be the only one that saw it. How did you feel about the like live action on TV one with Laverne Cox?
Oh, I've never seen it. Yeah.
Did you see it?
A little, like I turned it off.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They like cleaned it up a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, it was very
It's
weird.
TV as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like if you're gonna do Rocky Horror, like you gotta do
like,
Rocky
Mhm.
Horror.
Yeah, why do it if you can't commit to it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those because they've done, like, so many of those shows now on live TV because they did, like,
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Wizard of Oz. They did something else, and I'm blanking.
Sound of Music was one.
Yes.
They did Grease.
Grease.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's awesome that they're doing that because every single time, like, a musical gets super popular, they have to. So this is just like a stage thing. There's typically a requirement for them to record it in some way, and that's, like, archived in, like, a
just
special
documentation.
Broadway. Yeah, exactly. And, like, if they're gonna pay the money to, like, professionally record a Broadway show, why wouldn't they, like, post
Yeah.
retiring, or if it, like, because the life cycle of shows, at least on Broadway, I know Rocky Horror was Rocky Horror not on, it wasn't on Broadway, I don't think.
No.
Whatever. The, like, life cycle of a Broadway show is it's on Broadway, and then if it's popular, it'll fade a little bit, eventually, obviously, and then it'll tour. And then when it's done touring, it'll be retired. Maybe they'll do revival stuff. That's, like, if it is popular.
Right.
So, like, in my opinion, I don't get why a show post-tour can't be like, here, now you can buy this. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they would make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I get they want to do revival tours and stuff, but typically the reason they do, like, Les Mis does, like, 25th anniversary, they always get, like, a bomb cast or, like, insane superstars. So that's just a different reason to go see it, not because you haven't seen Les Mis. Because most people who are like, yeah, I went to go see the 25th anniversary, had seen the show before. It wasn't like this is their first interaction. That's a totally separate point, and I'm just angry that that's not a thing.
Right.
I want to see Hamilton. Let me see Hamilton.
Yeah, right.
Enter the lotteries. That's
Yeah.
how I saw Hamilton.
I went to.
I feel
New
like
York.
it might just be a
Okay.
prestige thing. Like, they don't want you to see it. They
Oh,
want
yeah.
you to dress up and go to
Well,
Broadway.
and I hate that.
Yeah.
I genuinely hate that.
Yeah.
Like, and to bring it back to Rocky Horror, I think that's what, like, the type of theater that Rocky Horror shoots for. That's what's awesome about it, because
Mhm.
there's no you're not good enough to see this, which is, like, so much of, like, uppity Broadway right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize that not every show on Broadway is the same way. Like, there are shows like, we talked about Mean Girls. There are shows like Mean Girls which go out of their way to give discount tickets on certain days. So, this is, if you've seen the movie, on Wednesdays we wear pink. So, if you show up to buy a ticket on
Wearing
Wednesday
pink.
and you're wearing pink, you get a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. And it gives people who may not have all the money to spend $100 on a ticket. Like, I spent $30 on my Mean Girls ticket, which, like,
Yeah, much better.
which is much better. You know what I mean? So that's totally different.
Mhm.
But I think that shows why experiences like Rocky Horror
Yeah.
are important,
Yeah.
besides their cultural impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this will be interesting. Speaking of cultural impacts, how do you think, because we see It's been on TV. It's been in shows like Glee. How do you think, or like, how do you think it's been imitated, or do you think it's been imitated well, or do you think things that have come from it, whether it's direct copies or attempted direct copies, or if it's like things similar culturally, how do you think it's like permeated through regular culture?
Yeah. I think it's always going to be a really important thing for like LGBT history.
True. That's really true.
I don't know. I think I'm like not mad at the adaptations. I think like the Perks of a Wallflower and like Glee was like fun. Those are also the only ones I've seen.
Yeah, it's another way to introduce people to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it just shows like how important or like what how iconic it is to have it in those other.
Well, especially the way they do it, too, because it's never like, look at this weird thing, let's do it. It's always like, at least with Glee, because that's what I can speak on. I make that noise background. Like I make that noise like I didn't watch every episode of Glee and enjoy it the entire time. But what they like the plots that are always surrounded are always
appreciative.
Yeah, appreciative,
exactly.
And it's not talking down on it. It's showing people why it should exist and why it should be praised, not why it's weird.
Yeah, it never calls it out for being weird.
Yeah.
Or it just embraces the fact that it is really weird.
It's a lovable type of weird for sure.
I don't know. Like, are there any things that you think have been inspired by it loosely that you think like are out there?
I don't think I would know because I just learned the premise of it today.
We've taught you so
here.
much today.
Yeah, I've learned a
That's
lot.
true. You've learned a lot. And
So.
I feel like I've learned a lot too, and like I have done research as much as possible without I didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
So like I've done a little bit of research, plus I'm nerdy and have seen Glee. A lot of Glee. Sorry.
Should we just make this about Glee?
No. I refuse. Cool. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, if not, we can wrap up. It's no big deal. Do you have... Well, before we close, then how about you sort of plug showings? Because this should get released the Thursday before.
Yes. Okay, please come out to Rocky Horror on October 18th and 19th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. We start banning people at 8 p.m. There's a costume contest at 10 p.m., so if you want to be a part of that, get there a little early to sign up. And then doors at 11, show at 12. Yeah. Please come out. It'll be fun. Dress up.
I am super pumped.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
excited.
I'm glad we're all going, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I only got into the overflow last time, I really want to make it in.
Me too. Well, not overflow, but I really want to make it in.
Yeah, and I would like to see your impression.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should sit together. We'll figure it out. Cool. Thank you so much for listening. This was the Sleeze. You were an audience. Have a good one.